Hey guys, I'm gonna be honest. Today's a rough day. I've been very vocal on my channel that I suffer from depression, and I haven't been able to see my therapist in about 6 weeks, so it's kind of starting to build up a bit. Don't worry, I'm still taking what I'm supposed to take and, still trying to do my best to take care of my mental health the best that I can. But I know that I'm not alone. I know that there are a lot of people going through it right now. That the self-isolation, the self-quarantine, the perhaps being stuck at home with abusive people, all of it just sort of weighs down on the mind. So I just wanted to say that if you are going through it, you're not alone. And I know things are really tough right now. And that it's a little hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But we can get through this. It's not easy. It can be difficult, especially when you're bored and, nothing's really stimulating or taking your mind off of things. Or you just need a little bit of a break and you're not getting it because you're stuck. And granted, I know I'm an essential worker, I still go to work, but even then, it's still difficult. So I just wanted to say that try to hang in there. Try to stay strong. I know we don't know when things are going to come to an end. I know we don't know when we're going to find out what our new normal is, but we can get through this. And no matter how long this takes, no matter how long we may have to wait, it will eventually come to an end. Things will eventually return to some sort of normalcy. So, try to stay strong and try to keep the faith. And if you need to talk to anybody, if you need to reach out to anybody, I strongly urge you to do so. There's phone apps now. One is, I think, BetterHealth. A number of resources. So if you need help, please reach out to somebody. Sorry, I started off a little bit, melancholy and not in my normal levity. But I'm not a very good actress. I'm one of those people who I can't lie to save my life. And with that means that I can't put on a facade when things aren't great. So sometimes it helps to hear that you're not alone. Sometimes it helps to just know that other people understand and know what it's like and what you may be going through. Sometimes just that little bit helps you get through a little bit longer. So that's why I wanted to put it out there. So to try to lighten things up a bit, funny enough, I've sat here with smoke cleansing for about 30-40 minutes, and still I just had that heaviness in my heart, and I just wasn't being able to clear it that easily. So I have 3 new decks. I'm starting to have a little bit of a problem here. You know, I keep buying all new decks and new decks and new decks because, you know, either they're pretty or it's like, ooh, I don't have something like that yet. So I'm starting to have a little bit of a problem here. But I figured they all come into use. They all come in hand, so I'm just trying to figure out what is it I want to start with tonight. And let me show you. This is a brand new deck on the market. I pre-ordered this for 3 months to get this deck. This is called Beyond Lemuria Oracle Cards by Izzy Ivy. I'm going to put an Amazon affiliate link for it down in the comments in case it's a deck that you want to buy. If you use my affiliate code, I get like a 10% commission off of it. It's not much. Nobody's been using my affiliate codes, mainly because I haven't been as good at posting them as I should be, but just putting it out there in case it's a deck that you want to buy. If you wouldn't mind using my code, I'd appreciate it. But again, there's also no pressure to do so. I think let's do a combination of things today. I think that would be a beneficial thing. I am going to keep this booklet out because this deck is very, very different than anything that I have currently, so I am definitely going to need the guidebook for that. This deck is gorgeous. This is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. The imagery is stunning. Look at this. When I saw this deck, I'm like, oh my god. I have the Celtic Lenormand, but something about these pictures just struck a chord. Look at that. Beautiful. So, after I get more familiar with this deck, I'll likely use it on the channel. I may have to pull one of the cards out, unfortunately, because it is full on, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I may cover it up with washi tape, but there's just like no missing the boobage in your face. So, it's funny how this works. The moment I start getting on camera, the moment I start letting it out, that's when my energy shifts a bit. To be honest, before I started recording and everything, I just started sitting here like, what's even the point? Maybe I should just delete my channel. Every so often it goes through my mind. So, forgive me, I'm just venting it. That's all. So, let's see if I can shuffle these huge cards with my itty bitty, teeny weeny, tiny hands. It's a very big deck. Thankfully, the cards are flexible. This is fresh out of the box too, so I'm going to have to shuffle a little bit, so forgive that. Just to mix things up a bit. And I think I will do a pick-a-card. It's one of those things that folks seem to be enjoying a bit. And we'll find out together what these cards have in mind to say. Trying not to bend them too far because I don't want them to crease. Okay. Now obviously I don't know what the cards are. You saw me shuffle live. I'm going to put down 4 cards. Are these thick or no? And we'll see what comes up. This deck is called the Fairy Blessing Cards. They're by Lucy Cavendish. This actually wasn't my intended deck that I was going to purchase. My Botanica that I've spoken about before is currently closed. They're in New York and a non-essential business, so as such they've closed the store, they've closed everything, and they even shut down the online ordering system, so you can't even order online right now. If you click on anything, if you try to order anything, everything says none is available. So I was like, oh crap. If you watched my the video that I think I posted it today, the full moon release candle video, I'll link it somewhere up here. I mentioned how I had a reading with the person I get readings from. And from that, she had told me to get a black candle. I didn't have a black candle, so I needed to order one. I didn't want to order one from Amazon because people are price gouging out the wazoo right now, even for that. And so I hit up Google. I found another Botanica that's in my relative territory, and the deck that I had originally ordered they didn't have. They were sold out. So she gave me an option to choose from another one, and I chose this one. So this is my very long introduction. If you've lasted this far, thank you for sticking it out with me. Sometimes you just need to vent. So I am going to, if you want to pick without a crystal, go ahead and pause the video here and pick your card or cards. And if you want to pick with a crystal, I'm feeling the need for, sorry, there is a crystal I need, but it is out of reach. Selenite tonight. Let's see. I think we're just gonna do white crystals tonight. Icelandic Spar and the Aqua Aura Quartz Pyramid. So I'll give you a moment to select. And with that, we will go straight into the readings. Okay, so if you have selected Icelandic Spar, this is your reading. Let me try to adjust that light thing a little bit. Every so often the light just washes it out. This is a blessing to undo an unfortunate guise. You'll have to forgive me, my Celtic isn't that fine-tuned. Or it may not even be Celtic. I think it's Geis. Yes, it is. The fairy gift to help you work through difficult life patterns. So this blessing will help undo the impact of an unfortunate pattern within your life. Geis is what the Celts believed we were born with, a theme or a story that would be told over and over in our lives, gifted to us by the goddess Arianold, often seen as a curse rather than a blessing. So this speaks largely to what is maybe karmic life patterns, or inter-lifetime karmic things that you need to clear. So when we have these patterns, these raveled up bits in our life that we seem to get caught up and entangled within, like a web, we keep getting pulled back into, the fairy can help us unravel it and come to a kind of peace with it. It does not mean we will no longer have that pattern or frailty, but we will be less hurt and harmed by it, for we all have our challenges, and it is how we deal with the challenges and the blessings we make of them that matters. Forgive me if my inflection and my reading of this is not on beat. This is the very first time I'm opening this book. The fairies can assist us in lightening up regarding our challenges. They can help us find a pathway that is less rocky and thorny, and come into relationship with our own themes and stories. In this way, we come to self-understanding and acceptance, and in that, we begin to activate the power within our story and our geist. And with that, the fairies know what their gift to you of undoing the unfortunate geist is done. Okay, I don't know if this is just bad grammar or maybe I'm reading it wrong. I don't know. Be uplifted, for we all have our story and challenge, and we all have our troubles to face. And with this gift comes the way through to making the very most of what could be considered unfortunate. You will, with the blessing of the fairies and your own courage and spirit, make it through to the other side, which is understanding. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but this book is really hard to read. Okay, so from now on, I think I'm just going to read the basic gist of it, and then, yeah. Okay, that book is a little hard to do. So, regardless, you have a blessing from the fairies coming in the form of releasing a negative life pattern that either no longer serves you or may have been karmic in some way. You may even be breaking life patterns that may even be familial. Before I do the Beyond Lemuria, I'm going to do a deck I know fairly well and see what it has to say about this blessing. It is spring, so the fairies are coming out. Let's see. Some of you may be, like I said, breaking familial patterns of, damaging patterns, such as abusive cycles. Okay, let's see. Door to personal healing and happiness. So, if you haven't watched the how to make a release candle video that I posted today, which is Wednesday, I highly recommend you watch it because I think it's going to help you with this. Sixth chakra, which is the third eye chakra, that is about intuition. You're walking away. Envy. And financial constraints. So perhaps part of this ties in maybe you looking at other people and wishing you had what they had. And maybe you're having some financial difficulties right now. I know personally from my own experience, when my depression is flaring up, I have the very horrible life pattern of spending way too much money and more money than I should. So that's something that I'm working on breaking a pattern for, so I don't know if maybe that's an issue that you are dealing with as well. So you do have the Fae coming in to help you deal with that. Walking away most likely has to deal with walking away from people or situations or life patterns even that no longer serve you or are doing you harm. And third eye chakra is about opening your intuition, and I believe that this is helping you deal with these three so that you have the door to personal healing and happiness. With regards to envy, if you are somebody who is dealing with looking at what other people have and wishing you had it, I'm going to say something that may seem very obvious, but sometimes it just helps to hear it, that comparing your life to others and comparing your success or where you are in life to where others are does you more harm than good. It doesn't work to motivate you to act any faster or change things any faster. All it does is tear you down and wear down on your mental health. And I'm saying this from experience because that is something that I deal with sometimes, where I'm like, I look at people who are younger than me and I'm going, man, they have their life so much further in place than I do, and I'm significantly older than them, and all that kind of stuff that does nothing to benefit you. And I'm not just saying that for you, I'm saying that for myself too. So keep in mind that, try not to do that, or if you catch yourself doing it, do your best to shift your mentality. Let's see what the Moonology deck has to say. And I'm going to do my absolute best to shuffle that Lemuria deck. I should really know better by now to focus on decks with fewer cards, but I saw the amount of cards in that deck and I went, ooh! Getting them bang for my buck. Work through your fears. So if you are somebody with anxiety, this may be the time that you have to deal with shadow work. Have faith in your dreams. And nothing, ironically, this one dropped right on these two cards. Nothing will come of this situation. The envy and the financial constraints. That card dropped right on those two cards. So keep that in mind. Nothing good comes from envying what other people have or what they are attaining. Nothing comes from allowing your finances to get too out of hand. So do your absolute best to try to nip that in the bud. If you feel the inclination to buy things frivolously or needlessly, even if it means, I know some credit card companies will allow you to lock your credit card. Might want to do that, or take your credit cards off of any shopping platforms until, you know, things kind of settle down. But I do see you walking away from things that no longer serve you, your intuition opening up more, you heeding that a bit more, and this bringing a door to personal healing and happiness. So let us see what this deck has to say, and this is going to be a very, very difficult one to shuffle. Yeah. I'm going to have to do this in sections because it's too thick. I have another deck that's like this, and I don't... Oh, I know what deck it is. I had bought a tarot deck that is so thick that I literally have to break it up into like 4 parts just to be able to shuffle it. Sometimes what I do is I spread it out on the table and I just shuffle it all together. Yee. In more of a scatter way. I know I haven't used tarot on my channel yet. It's because I'm still learning. I'm still working with it. Still trying to figure it out. But in the meantime, this is how it goes. So after I'm just going to do what do you have to say to prove one? Ooh. Now come on, be nice. Okay. Transformation. So you do have good things coming. Air. Paradigm shift. So if you're possibly an air sign, this is also full moon in Libra, which is an air sign. So this is the time to really work on releasing things that no longer work for you. Furried and feathered friends. Interesting. Let's see what that card says. And hopefully this deck is a little bit more friendly to read. So ethical consumption, making a difference through our food choices, caring for all beings, animals, environmental awareness, doing the best we can, animal spirit guides. Animals are intuitive and sacred beings that walk the earth beside us. They are the wisdom keepers of many earth traditions and some of our most loving companions. They have much to teach us, and yet the way some species are treated is quite unbelievable. As we become more empathic and our sense of compassion expands beyond that of our own family and community sphere, we start to see other beings and the quality of their lives as interconnected and equal. We may be inspired to align our actions with our compassion to minimize the harm we do to the planet and all her inhabitants. Okay, so keep in mind that this may very well have to deal with and see that intuition card popped up. This may have to deal with somewhat intuitive eating, might help you through this process. Basically what that means is you eat the foods that you feel more connected to consume, forgive me. And basically what that means is you may want to allow your body to go through some sort of a cleanse where you eat more vegetable products, things to allow your body to regain some sort of balance and equilibrium. I'm feeling to draw another one. Gracious receptivity, which I believe is about giving gratitude. Yep, gratitude being thankful, receptivity, giving without expectation, how worthiness and self-love can affect your capacity to receive and to give without depletion, overflow over obligation, thriving over surviving, gifting economies. So another thing that might help you, and funny how this card came up with financial constraint. A part of love attraction is the more you give, the more you receive. So whenever you purchase something, whenever you give a financial gift of some sort, be it a donation, be it just helping someone out financially, do so without the expectation of reciprocity. And anytime you give money away, be grateful that whatever you give comes back to you threefold. Alright? And that somehow works to shift your energy in your benefit. And it tends to help the law of attraction bring to you whatever financial blessings you may be wanting to achieve, but may not know exactly how you're going to do so. I tend to practice that a lot, especially when I'm going to shop certain places. I have to be more mindful to do it more often because I'm not as good about sticking to that mental frame. It's funny how when I go shopping certain places, it triggers that thought in me to have that mentality, but it's a practice, it's an exercise. It takes time to develop that habit and that pattern. So try not to be too hard on yourself if you forget or anything of that nature. Just try to put that practice into working for you. And things are going to be okay. Let go of looking at what other people have. Let go of, wishing you had things that were different, because all that does is keep you stuck in a negative mental pattern of not having and wanting, and that keeps things less likely to come to fruition. So I hope this reading has been helpful. If you resonate with it at all, please let me know in the comments down below. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell before you leave. And I hope to see you again in future. And if there's any kind of subject you would like me to do a reading on. If there is anything you are curious about, go ahead and let me know that in the comments down below as well, and I will do my absolute best to fulfill your request. And with that, until next time, brightest blessings and blessed be. Okay, Rainbow Moonstone, let's see what blessings the fairy realm has for you. A blessing of glamour. Now, an interesting note is there are actual techniques where you can channel cosmetics into doing glamour magic to help draw things to you. It's kind of affiliated with color magic in a way, and I plan on doing a video on this soon. I just have to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row, as it were. But let's see what messages are for group 2. And let me, before I continue shuffling, let me just see. I noticed with the second group, or first group I should say, that reading this is not necessarily a helpful or easy thing to do, because this book that goes along with these cards is a little weird. Okay, so a fairy gift of drawing on the deep well of magical shape-shifting ability that lies within you. It's about shifting your appearance. Yeah, this is very much like a beauty community card. Some people use cosmetics in order to help themselves feel more empowered and courageous and strong. What do you have to say to group 2? Don't worry, I will use the Beyond Lemuria deck. I just tend to like to get an energy sense off at first. I will warn you, the Beyond Lemuria deck is a little hard for me to shuffle. So, I'm still working on getting the cards and everything to mix well. Whoop. Come on. This energy deck is sticking a bit tonight. Let's see. One more. Okay. So, cornucopia, that is definitely a prosperity card. 4th chakra has to deal with healing heart chakra energy. Broken heart. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it's a person, it could also be a thing. Adjacent possibilities. So something didn't necessarily work out the way you wanted it to. But the thing that didn't work out so well is going to lead to other doors. Work on channeling healing into your heart and 2nd chakra. Feeling drawn. You have money coming. You have caring connections around you and a door to romance. Hello. So things are looking pretty good. If you are somebody who currently is in the beauty community in some way, now keep in mind, if you're already in a relationship, door to romance doesn't necessarily mean somebody else. It could mean self-love just as much as it could mean a romantic connection that's external, you know? But I do see that whatever it was that you were hoping for that led to a broken heart, or, you know, feelings of being let down, it's going to open doors to better things. You have too many cards here. Blossoming Abundance and Cornucopia. And sorry for any background noise. I live on a busy street, and even though people are supposed to be self-quarantining and keeping their butts home, they have to be assets. Sorry, it just annoys me that people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, because the longer that they don't, the longer we're all stuck in this shithole. So let's see. You and your loved ones are safe. Come on. What do you need to release? Funny how that coincided with the broken heart card. A new romantic cycle begins right on top of that door to romance card. You would think that I stack these things, which is exactly why I shuffle live, because I want you to see that I am not doing this. I am not stacking the cards. They fall as they fall. So, it is the full moon in Libra right now. New moon in Libra will be in October. But keep in mind, romantic cycle could still just be about regaining self-love or anything of that nature, regaining your equilibrium. It could very well be that this adjacent possibility is going to lead you to a romantic connection of some sort. That is entirely possible. I'm just saying that there are alternative meetings, and depending on what is resonating with you will depend on what connects with you and connects for you. Keep in mind, these are general readings, so what comes up for one person may be a different story for another person. You and your loved ones are safe. This dropped right on top of the heart chakra, blossoming abundance, and the other prosperity card. So it looks like if you've been having any sort of financial difficulties or anything, that's going to be resolved fairly soon, I would think. But keep in mind that you do need to work on releasing any kind of things that you're holding on. So I do recommend you watch the video that I posted today on how to make a full moon releasing candle. So that may actually help you. So with that, let's see what the Beyond Lemuria deck has to say. And I'm going to do my absolute best to try to split this in half and shuffle it. I make no promises because she's a thick one and I cannot. Nope. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do the corner thing. And shuffle it that way, push it in a bit, and try to get it to shuffle that way if I can. I really have to get better about Not thinking, oh, it has a lot of cards, that's getting a bang for my buck, when I can't easily shuffle the deck. There you go. Shuffling the deck is part of the battle. Okay. Whew. It's making me work for it. You have to say group 2. Whoop. The infinite freedom. I'll look up what those cards mean in a moment. And She of the Lotus. So brand new deck means cards I have to learn. So let's see what the infinite has to say. The eternal life force cycles of growth rising from the ashes. Many deaths and rebirths within one's life. You are so much more than your physical body. Which, interestingly enough, She of the Lotus is very much talking about rising from the mud. That's how I envisioned that card. She of the Lotus is talking about shadow work, addressing dissonance, seeing downfalls. As the flip side of superpowers, loving yourself back to wholeness. The beautiful lotus that grows from murky waters, disempowering triggers, bringing light to your dark corners. So this is talking about shadow work, but this is also a Phoenix card, as is the infinite. So both of these are talking about dealing with the stuff and healing from maybe disappointments or an actual broken heart of some kind, and healing from it and rising above it, which I think is what the dragonfly has to deal with the freedom. Living the life you love, liberation as a shift in perspective, the many facets of freedom, inviting enjoyment and inspiration to your life. Discovering what freedom means to you, overcoming limitation, unbound creative expression, choice over obligation. So yeah, definitely go with where your heart is guiding you. Of course, after you do some sort of shadow work and heal from whatever disappointment. Excuse me, I am so sorry. Or missed opportunity that led to having some sort of internal heart chakra pain. The heart chakra and the broken heart came up both together. But keep in mind that whatever you missed out on, it's going to be a good thing. Even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it doesn't seem like it is, it's going to work out for the best, and you are going to be faced with adjacent or new opening doors. So perhaps during this time of learning to love yourself again and everything, play around with makeup, do things that make you feel pretty, do things that are self-care, anything of that nature, because it's going to help you heal your heart and allow you to move forward from that pain. But do keep in mind that in order to also do that, you need to face the things that you don't necessarily want to deal with, that we all kind of bury down deep. We don't want to see it. We don't want to experience it. Allow yourself to face it. And don't worry, you have blossoming abundance coming. You have caring connections being made and a door to romance, which may be self-love, or it may very well be an actual relationship. So I hope this reading and guidance may help you. If it's something that you resonated with, please let me know in the comments down below. Before you leave, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind subscribing, commenting, and setting that bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. And with that said, until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and most of all, blessed be. Okay, Selenite, welcome to your reading. Let us find out what blessing the Fae have for you. A blessing of lower? You'll have to forgive me, this deck is a little bit weird, and I'm not gonna lie, the book and explanations are just as weird, so rather than reading out to you what it says, I'm trying to see what it says and then guide you from that. Oh, a blessing of power. Okay. Okay, that helps a lot. The gift of your own determination, will, and ability to shape your world. So this is about harnessing your inner strength, your inner power, your inner magical abilities. It is talking about not just growing your powers and your abilities, but channeling them into creating and manifesting the things that it is you want, as well as what kind of life you are seeking to have. So, let's call out the energy oracle first, and what do you have to say to group 3? I'm going to warn you, if you get the fairy blessing cards, that the booklet can be a little bit weird to read. I don't know if it's the grammar is way off, or I don't know what it is, but I tried with the first group to read off everything regarding the card, and it just got more confusing than if I just glanced at it and tried to discern what it meant. Blessing of power. Let's see here. Attachment. Garden of the Gate. Door to Value. So it's a prosperity card. Balance. Community. Are you a bit of an Elsa? Yes, I am using a Frozen reference. And the funny thing is, I kind of relate to that Disney princess a bit more than I do the others, because I understand that locking away your powers, locking away your abilities, trying to bury things down deep and not deal with them, not harness them, because you're afraid of what's going to happen if you do. Is this sounding familiar at all? So I do get the sense the attachment card can be many different things, but I get more the feeling with attachment you've been trying to distract yourself from harnessing your inner powers and your inner abilities. And the Garden and the Gate has to largely do with protection and shielding yourself and not wanting to let yourself out into the world. Forgive me, I'm just taking a little drink. Nothing alcoholic yet. Just some water. But this is telling you to, especially if you are starting to just come into your powers, or if you're just starting to work with that kind of stuff, definitely reach out to people within the community. You could reach out to me, reach out to other guides, people who are intuitive, and you will be surprised at how many people will try to help you and help guide you hone and work to control your abilities to some degree. Because you do need to, it looks right here, community is going to help you with balancing yourself and your abilities. And I do see that your abilities can lead to financial gain and prosperity. Yeah, they're calling on you to act on things. Woman holding coin. You would think that I stack these decks, but I don't. You watch me shuffle them live. Hostilities. Do be prepared. And I'm glad this came up, because not everyone in the pagan, I hate the word psychic, intuitive community is necessarily going to be an authentic person. You are going to encounter frauds. You are going to encounter people who are envious of what you are able to do, what you are able to manifest, and there are going to be people who are going to try to mislead you or misdirect you, throw daggers at you, because you are exhibiting what they wish they could do themselves. Angel of Strength. So you do have angels protecting you. Crown chakra, there you go, higher intuition. And sixth chakra is, you have the intuition cards, both of them, back to back. And I know that these cards weren't originally in the deck side by side, because this card popped up for an earlier reading, and this card wasn't next to it. So, yeah, you are definitely coming into your abilities. You are definitely coming into your powers. This is what you're being called to do, and now is the time to do it, because the Fae are going to help guide you. It is spring. The Fae are coming out. They're working their magic. The spring is always a very, very strong time, before I do that, to start that kind of thing. I will forewarn you, if you are just starting this road, get a piece of selenite. Interesting that I was intuitively pulled to grab this crystal. Get selenite, get black tourmaline, and bring them everywhere with you. Put them next to your bed. Put a piece of black tourmaline in between your mattress and your box spring. when I say that it's important to shield and protect yourself, and I'll put a link up here to my empathic shielding video to kind of give you some sort of instruction on that. It is very important to do that and protect and shield yourself as much as you can, especially when your abilities are just opening and starting to grow, because that's when all the weird shit goes, oh look, a light bulb, let me go. It's literally like a moth to the flame. And I'm not saying that to scare you, and I really genuinely and sincerely hope I'm not, because it's not my intention. I'm just trying to forewarn you that that does happen, which is why it is extremely necessary to take additional precautions. You can get selenite and black tourmaline off of Amazon. They are very easy crystals to find. You can find them pretty much from any pagan store. But I'm just trying to give you some sort of online shopping places that I know have this kind of stuff, where we are currently in a situation where a lot of our local stores and shops are not going to be open right now. Okay? So, what do you have to say to group 3? One more. Okay, so 1, fiery climax approaches. Ooh, full moon in Aries, which I think is in January. You are good enough. So if this is something that you have been afraid to channel because you don't feel either you're worthy of it, if you feel like, you know, you're not going to be any good at it, those self-deprecating, inner bashing thought processes and all of that kind of stuff, you're good enough. You deserve to be able to channel and harness these abilities. And confidence is your key to success. Now, keep in mind that confidence comes with practice. It comes with trusting your intuition. One thing that has personally been, ironically, helping me trust my intuition and trust the messages that I'm guided to give to people have been real life experiences wherein I've read people cold, or I've, you know, even through my channel, when people give me feedback that what I'm telling them is very accurate and very true to what they've been experiencing and very true to what they're going through. All of these things help breed confidence that the intuition and everything that you are being led or feeling to relay to people is accurate and appropriate guidance, okay? I'm not just an intuitive, but I am a medium. And with that can come a bit of a struggle sometimes, because sometimes spirit realm has its own ideas, and if you do not feel ready for that kind of stuff, if that is something that is a power or ability of yours, that's particularly where empathic shielding and where the black tourmaline and selenite is going to come in handy to protect you, to help you shield yourself. Shuffling this deck is not easy because it has a lot of cards. I have very tiny hands, and things don't always want to go how I want them to. So please bear with me. I'm doing my best. Trying to inch it in a bit so I can just fold them together. Itty bitty hands. I can basically only grip half or 2/3 of the deck at a time to shuffle it. Which is ironic, considering the instrument that I play requires being able to stretch your fingers. Okay. Let's see. Please cooperate. If you want me to shuffle you more, the least you could do is cooperate with doing so. 1. Thank you for your patience and my very, very long duration of shuffling this deck. 2. Be nice. Do not do the slide thing. 2. 1 more. And then I promise I'm done. Okay. Okay, that was a good shuffle. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, before I draw those cards, let me turn off the heater. It's spring now, so I come in the room and it's chilly, and then I sit in the heat for a while, and then I'm like, okay, it's warm now. Look at this. Wow, these are powerful cards. You're a star seed. You might be a light worker. Let's see what's stepping through means. I have a feeling I know. Follow your heart, dream big, stepping through something that has been holding you back. The threshold, starting new projects, self-belief is all possible. The road less traveled, and trust. So you need to trust your intuition and trust that opening and awakening to these powers and these abilities is something that you're meant to do. Starseer. Listen to your intuition. Trust the holistic journey. Dreams finding their way into being. So if you are somebody who's been dreaming a lot, you might want to start writing that down. Because sometimes we download messages in our dreams, and writing it all down helps you remember things so that you can look things up to see what kind of meanings things have. This is also about the bigger picture, a more aligned outcome than expected, clarity of the greater path, and endless opportunities. I get the feeling has to do with you being one hell of a manifester. But we'll see. Decision-making choice, crossroads, unrealized opportunities, taking the path of least resistance, heart over mind, direction, focused energy, the high road or the low road. So this is all about decisions, grasping at opportunities when they present themselves, and I do get the feeling, though, that this also applies to manifesting. Manifesting what you want, manifesting the things that you are looking to achieve in the life that you are looking to have. Okay, so I hope this reading has helped a bit. Please do let me know in the comments if this is something that resonated for you. Before you go, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind subscribe, commenting, setting that bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. And please know that your support is so so appreciated, and I am so grateful for you being here. And if you have any questions, if you need any guidance, if you need any help, if you have any requests for any specific type of subject for a reading, please also let me know that in the comments, and I will do my absolute best to fulfill your request. Especially still being a small channel, I can do that right now. So, yeah. And with all of that said, until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and blessed be. Hello Group 4, Angel Aura Quartz, and welcome to your reading. So let's see what blessing the Fae have for you. A blessing of fairy magic. Ooh, we have 2 readings with magic and intuition and awakening abilities. So let's start off with the Energy Oracle deck and see what guidance it has for this situation. Actually, I did this even in the last reading. You'll have to forgive me. I'm starting to lose alertness, I guess you could say. I meant to look up sort of the basic gist of the card. The fairy gift of enchantment from the realm of the Fae. So yeah, it's literally talking about you getting magical help from the fairy realm. Okay. You'll have to forgive me, that book is a little weird to read. For the first group, I tried reading off the exact meaning of the card in the book, and it was not easy to get through. I don't know if they decided to use weird language or whatnot on purpose, but or maybe I'm just not reading it right tonight. I don't know. I'll try reading it again at another time, but yeah, it was just weird. So for groups 2, 3, and 4, I just basically scan it and get the gist of it. Ooh. Angel of Love. And then 3 of the regular shuffle, and then on to pulling the cards. I shuffle as long and as often as I feel it I'm guided to do. One more. Okay. So, Angel of Love, walking away. Looks like you're walking away from a situation or from something or someone that no longer serves you. Thinking, man, it looks like you're going to have a male teacher or guide when it comes to this. Victory. Envy. So with envy often comes up when it comes to magical workings, when it comes to opening up your gifts, when it comes to manifesting things and just strengthening your own powers. One of the biggest warnings I can give you is do not compare where you are to where others are, because it does not do anything beneficial. All it does is seek to keep you trapped in a certain mental state, to keep you trapped in that perpetual mindset of, I should be further along than I am. I wish I were in a different place than I am. And that doesn't help you. All it does is make things worse and make things take longer. Angel of Balance, first chakra, that's the base chakra. And Storm Warning. Funny how this came up with envy. So yeah, definitely do not compare yourself. Do not envy what others have, or it could get in the way of you achieving some sort of personal victory. Alright? Let me just do one more. Deceit. Hello. Damn. You're drawing all the cards. This may even be someone else envious of you. This may not actually be you being envious of someone else, because that's the next card. And this walking away card came up. So be mindful that there may be someone close to you that is not who they seem to be, and is not who they are trying to come off as. They may be acting very envious of something that you have, or your abilities opening up, because I do see some parting of ways, especially with the walking away card here. Alright. But I see with that, with this separation or from this person, that things are going to be a lot better for you. Angel of Love, Victory, the Thinking Man. It talks about a male teacher or a guide. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be a woman. It just could be someone with a lot of masculine energy. But I see you achieving some sort of balance. And restoration of your power. Just shuffling in the cards that I drew from the last person, so that if they come up again, they do so of their own volition and not because they were just on top. Okay, so what does the Moonology deck have to say? And 2. I may pull cards from another deck for you as well. It's ironic, before I even started this one, my eyes started traveling to my Secret Traveler deck, because I feel like there's more that you need to hear. Conclusions are within reach. Severing of ties. Expect powerful change. And emotions are running high. Your commitment is being tested. Yeah. Definitely going to be a parting of ways, and that may be why the Fae are coming in and helping you with their magic, because you need some extra help at this time. Let me pull out my Sacred Traveler deck, because it's been calling to me for this group specifically. Primarily tonight I've been using the same decks for every group, but when I feel called to give extra attention, I do so. Hey, beauty. My puppy's down on the floor. She was taking a nap and she finally woke up and was like, huh? Where am I? You're okay. I'm still here. She's going to the blankets I piled up on the floor for her. It's kind of like a makeshift bed. Guess she just wanted to get a little bit more comfortable. Yep. Okay, so discovering truth. So whatever this shady shit is going on, you are going to see it. Taking shelter is about rest, rejuvenation, which ironically, right there. Voyage of the heart, love flows through you and to you. So once this person is out of your life and you take some time to heal your heart, these other things are going to come in for you. You're going to find balance and equilibrium, self-care, self-love, yeah. Ascending the mountain, keep going forward, cleansing water, yep. It's all talking about cleansing, rejuvenation, purification. Once you get rid of that toxic person, you're going to do much better. This is going to be a gift. It may hurt as hell. I'm not gonna lie. It may be painful, it may be hurtful, you may get stabbed in the back by this person, especially where that deceit card came up, but this is going to be a very beneficial thing for you in the long run. And if you are Christina and you are watching this one, Christina is one of my loyal supporters, and I'm very grateful that she supports me and enjoys my content. But she is one who's been having this exact issue of severing ties and moving forward from a toxic connection. So, Christina, if you selected this card, you have to let me know in the comments. What do you have to say to group 4? Be kind. Let me shuffle you. Question, do y'all ever have like random moments from movies just pop in your head out of nowhere? I just had the moment in the first Miss Congeniality movie where she's walking out of the warehouse where they've been working on her for so many days and hours, beautifying her. I kind of get the feeling like that's that kind of what you're going to experience after you get rid of this toxic person and you take that time for R&R and self-renewal. Unique gifts. She of the Lotus. That popped up for another person. That is the Phoenix card. So is that one. That one also popped up for somebody else. These are both talking about doing shadow work, getting down to the nitty-gritty, dealing with the hidden things that you don't really want to see or deal with. and you having some sort of a resurrection type moment. But let's see what unique gifts has to do. Your superpowers, a sense of purpose, the meaning behind your quirks, exploring your interests, shortcomings as a unique undiscovered skills. So, yeah. You're going to have Phoenix moment after this person is over and done with, and during that time of rest and renewal, try delving into things that interest you that maybe you haven't had opportunity to delve into yet. That, hey, let's face it, during self-quarantine and during isolation and all that kind of stuff, we have these opportunities present themselves that we don't usually have. Like personally, even though I'm still working because I'm essential and all that kind of stuff, I've been gravitating more back to reading. I'm delving into and rereading the Key series by Nora Roberts. So, it's one of those things where this is your time, this is your opportunity to do so. Do keep in mind this person is going to show their ass. You are going to see them for who they are. You are going to get to the truth of the matter, and things are going to be dealt with in your benefit. So I hope this reading has given some assistance. If you resonate with this reading, please let me know in the comments down below. Before you go, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting like, subscribe, comment down below, ring the bell to be notified of when I release new videos. Your support is always appreciated, and I'm grateful for it. And until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and most of all, blessed be.